Welcome to the first ever podcast of Audionots. I'm Eric Oldboy here with Ren. I almost missaid your name.
I know. People get that a lot.
And we're going to spend some time with you today talking about our favorite things. I wanted to give you guys a quick update of who we are, why we're doing it, what the whole purpose of this thing is. Basically, we have a small company called Vigilante Design, where we make some of the hottest graphics known to man and
women.
Yeah. And we found that we stand around our work on our computers and we're always talking about all sorts of things. We're like, you know what? It's really unfair for the public not to be able to hear this kind of amazing thoughts and knowledge and opinions, those sorts of things. So here we are. We decided to do our very first ever podcast. We're new, we're fresh, we're still learning, and we're sitting right now in my poor man's man cave, which is nothing more than a garage with a pool table and a foosball, trying to do our best, have a little fun. It's cold. Are you cold?
It's a little chilly. You know, our working table is a pool table.
It is a pool table.
Yeah, works out pretty good.
But yeah, so anyways, usually when we're at work, we're talking about all sorts of things. And one of my favorite things that we're always talking about is TV, streaming, those sorts of things. And one of my favorite things to talk about is streaming and televisions. And we talk about movies, things like that. And I'm kind of excited, I don't know about you, about this whole Disney Plus thing. I know I paid for 3 full years ahead of time to see what kind of stuff they're going to have, get the better price, only $3 something a month.
Yeah, you can say we're like the early adopters.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me ask you, what are you most excited to watch on Disney Plus?
Well, you know, there's a whole library of shows and movies on there, but I'm most excited for, we already know, Star Wars.
The Mandalorian.
Episode 1. Let's go. Tuesday.
What do we know about that? I mean, is this based off of Jango Fett, Boba Fett?
Well, if you look at the timeline, right, they say that this whole show is taking place after Return of the Jedi. So that means we have Boba Fett in the picture. If it's a big if, right, if he's not dead.
Yeah, because I think everybody agrees that Boba Fett's not dead, right? We see him fighting. Luke comes in all badassery. He's got the black outfit on, his lightsaber, and they're going for it on that weird little like floating spaceship over the Trimmers worm, you know? And he flies into the Trimmers worm, but we don't see him fully engulfed by this thing. He's like, falling to his death.
And do as a rocket.
Yeah, you know? Can he just fly out?
Yeah, he's going to fly out, right?
So this happens after Return of the Jedi, but before
Force Awakens. Yeah.
What kind of year? Do you know what kind of year period it is between the two? I mean,
if you look at Rey and Ben,
it's like 20 years.
Yeah, they're like grown ass adults, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be that long. And Luke, he's old too, so it has to be like years afterwards.
I wonder if it'll be like when they brought those Netflix shows that had the Avenger type stuff. It had Daredevil and they had Luke Cage,
right,
and the Defenders. They never showed any of our favorite movie people in those shows, but they would mention them once in a while. At the very beginning, I remember them saying, ever since we were attacked by aliens, or he's not as tough as the big green guy, those sorts of things. Do you think that in The Mandalorian we'll actually get to see some actors from either Return of the Jedi or Force Awakens, or do you think they'll at least be referenced in some sort?
I think they'll be referenced. I mean, you can't really put Luke in there because he's so old as an actor, you know?
Right.
And they might have to do them like young CG effect to make him look young again.
Right.
They can always do it, but I don't see them doing that because they're really focused on, you know, the Mandalorian culture sort of thing. Oh, fun fact. Did you know that Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian?
Right, because Boba Fett is some sort of clone.
Remember in episode 2, he was a clone of, what's his name? Jango Fett?
Jango Fett.
Yeah, because Jango Fett's body was the main body for all the clones for the stormtroopers, right? And he kept one perfect clone for himself, treated like his son, and that later on becomes Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. So Mandalorian is a race of people?
It's like I would say like a code that people live by, like I don't know,
Almost like the Rin or whatever.
like Knights of the Ren,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And so I'm not sure if they're a race of people, but they're just like it's like a tribe sort of thing where they all come together and there's like this code and they're like just bounty hunters, doing jobs for whoever pays the money sort of thing, maybe.
So
I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm just speculating. I don't even know.
yeah, that show looks totally awesome. I mean, it looks like they put a lot of money into it. It's pretty clear Disney is aware this is kind of their flagship show right now.
Right.
And they're gonna try to get people to sign up for the service that way because they're not coming out with, I don't think, any of the Marvel stuff until next year.
Correct.
Right. And so I think this is cool. It'd be cool. I'd really like it if they had some of the robots. I mean, the one thing about robots is they don't age.
I mean, there are always robots, right? New robots, maybe bring the old robots.
Show me a robot I've seen before. Make the whole world kind of connect.
Right. I mean, they should just add C-3PO maybe, just a little.
He can roll in there,
Yeah.
or at least R2-D2. Because if I remember right, they were always getting lost and doing stuff. So, and I've always wondered, when they make the robot, are they not making hundreds of them and look exactly the same? I mean, is there really only one R2-D2? How come we've never run into another R2-D2? I'm not the only one that has like a Roomba in my house. You go next door, that guy has a Roomba too, and they look exactly the same.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we're missing out on more robots.
Yeah, I was looking into more of that Disney Plus service, and they came out and said that in order for you to understand, okay, I'm gonna jump onto Marvel now, okay?
Yeah.
It's a big Marvel show too, and to understand Phase 4 or what they're trying to do, you have to watch the shows that they're gonna put on Disney Plus. So to understand all the future movies, you need to watch all these shows that they're making. So
Right.
pretty excited for that too.
Yeah, because they're coming out with what was the first one they were going to do? I remember there was going to be the Captain America type show. What was that one called?
Oh, there's gonna be Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then
And you have the
Scarlet
Witch and Vision, and you have what else is there?
There was a lot of them. I remember
There's the Loki one.
Yeah, the Loki one. I think
Yeah.
those are maybe the three ones that are coming first.
Right.
Because down the road there was like Moon Knight and She-Hulk and
Yeah, all the other ones that we haven't seen before.
right, some new characters. So they're kind of. I wonder, have they said at all, these shows, Marvel, Star Wars, how many episodes we're gonna get? Is it like an 8, 10, 13 season?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I would be excited to see what we're gonna get. And I read that the quality of these shows is they're spending the same kind of money they would on these television shows as they would like a movie. So the effects are supposed to be good. They're bringing in all the real actors. At least on the Marvel side, you're getting the exact same actors. I mean, talk about continuity. That's pretty crazy.
You think they gotta bring back like Daredevil from Netflix
I don't know.
and have him play Daredevil again?
I wish they would. Of all the Netflix shows, Daredevil was the coolest, right?
Right.
I thought Punisher was fun only because, I really enjoy hyperviolence. Right. But Daredevil, yeah, was the best one. I thought Luke Cage was kind of boring. I thought the Defenders in line was also boring. And then Jessica Jones. It's not like I'm hating on female superheroes, but God, that show was boring.
Yeah, I finished season 1. I tried watching season 2, and it took me a while, but I got halfway.
Like pulling teeth.
Yeah, I'm proud to say I went halfway in that show.
I've seen where Disney, because Disney owns pretty much everything in the world now.
Yeah.
That they may bring back Daredevil and put it on FX. And then I saw literally this morning on Twitter that FX is moving in this upcoming March 2020, exclusively to Hulu. So the only way you'll be able to watch FX is on Hulu. And that would kind of go with everything they've been saying, where they want to take their more adult Marvel content and put some of those on Hulu. So that way the kids don't get confused.
Right.
So it might be perfect to put Daredevil, bring him back, put him on FX on Hulu.
Right. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Hulu is part of Disney too?
Yeah,
Or-
Disney owns the entirety of Hulu
Oh,
now.
that's right. You said they own everything. You're right.
They originally only owned part of it, but when they acquired the Fox stuff, they got the other half. So now they own Hulu 100%. So
Right.
that's why you can get that. I think there's a deal where you can get Disney, Hulu, and like ESPN Plus, which nobody would watch. It's
All
like
together?
some sort of bundle.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, anymore, there's so many dope ass streaming services. I remember we all wished for it. I'm a big streaming guy, and I remember you'd be paying for your DirecTV or your cable bill or whatever it is, and it would get like just insanely expensive. And I kept thinking, oh man, I wish it was a la carte. Just buy the shows I want to watch. Well, now we're finally getting to where it's a la carte, and I think it's going to be more expensive.
No more fluff channels, but you get what you want though, right?
You're getting what you want, but it's not like $2 to $5 per like show you like. Instead, it's like $15 a month for like this channel and all of its friends. And so I saw that another one that's pretty new and people are probably trying out is Apple TV. Apple TV Plus is their television streaming service that's brand new. I got it for free because I just got a new iPhone.
All right, my new iPhone's coming in tomorrow, so I'm gonna get it free too.
Nice. You get a full year for free with the new iPhone. And so I started watching those shows, and the one that kind of caught my attention because they got the one with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell and Reese Witherspoon.
Right.
And it's a little too dramatic for me. It's okay, but it's a lot of women yelling at each other, and like that's great. But I saw this C show. I thought, oh, okay, cool. Aquaman, he's running around blind. I mean, what's not to like? But it's weird, but I'm still intrigued. I know you've seen a couple episodes, right?
Yeah, because like you said, Apple is doing. They give you the first 2 episodes for free just to test out if you like the service or not. And I used that to watch the first 2 episodes. And like you said, it's a weird show.
Yeah, anybody who's watched and we're trying to be spoiler free. I think if we say anything spoilery, we'll pre-warn you to mute it for a second.
Right.
But anybody who's seen the show has a new appreciation for praying. And that's the one thing that really caught me off guard.
Yeah, I remember you watched it before me, and then you said, man, their way of praying, it's so different from the way we pray. I'm like, okay, so what do they do? Like, do they like stand up all the time, or do they just, run around praying? What do they do? And so when that scene came up and the lady was like, let us pray. And I'm like, oh, here it is. See how different it is. And then it caught me off guard.
It was amazing. It was not the praying I'm used to. It's more the praying I watch sometimes when I'm watching some late night internet. So it was a different kind of oh god than what I expected.
Oh,
but yeah. So I've seen up to episode 3, and it gets dramatically better by episode 3. I think what's interesting, in my opinion, on the show C is they've got a lot of good actors. The show looks beautiful. You can tell. I read somewhere that they're spending up to $15 million per episode.
Yeah, every shot they shoot is super, like, it's beautiful.
The music's really good. Yeah. They've basically took all the dramatic, like, music that makes you feel in your gut out of, like, Game of Thrones and thrown it on this show. And so the music's really good. But the acting's not great. I mean, it's pretty mediocre, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have Aquaman. He's good in doses.
He's not the best actor, yeah, I agree. But like I don't know the actress's name, but the lady that plays Paris, she was also in some of those Marvel shows.
Yeah, she was in Luke Cage.
Yeah. What was her name in Luke Cage? Mariah?
Mariah?
Yeah, so Mariah, she's not a good actress, or maybe the way they're directing it, her character feels really weird and awkward to me.
Yeah, because it's weird how this show takes place in the future, but yet it looks like it's in the past. Is because the Earth, what?
Yeah, we've apparently, just like every other dystopian show, we've screwed the Earth so hard that we're all like forget how to talk normal.
Yeah,
we give each other crazy names.
we like, as we live on, we devolve as humans, and our speech or the way we speak, like, devolves too. Like, what the heck is going on? And they do like, wait, is she speaking British accent or not? Or you're just like, what is she? I don't know what she is anymore.
The Queen's accent on the show is like Scottish or something, but it's so like hard to understand that I have to like turn on the subtitles because I don't know what the hell she's saying. Yeah. She's like, rah, rah, and I'm like, what are you saying, lady?
Yeah, because you guys warned me before that. That's why when I first watched it, I had to turn on subtitles for me to understand what they were saying. And because like sometimes, Jason Momoa, he kind of mumbles.
Well, he's trying to be gruff and strong.
Yeah, and then you're like, what the hell is he saying? And like they calling each other names, like, what the hell is his name again? Like,
You'll have
Baba Voss? Like, I don't know, man.
they all have like insanely crazy names.
Yeah.
You know, nobody has like a normal name other than Paris. Like the one name
Yeah.
I can remember is Paris because I'm like, okay, I know that word. Otherwise, they've all got like, you know, like Jenga Fett. You might as well call them Jenga Fett. Baba Voss sounds like some sort of fancy ass water you get at like a 5-star restaurant. So yeah, the Apple TV and C, I'm gonna stick with it because they gave it to me for free. I tell anybody out there who's listening, do not pay for Apple TV. It's just not worth the money now. What happened, I think, is you got a bunch of tech nerds trying to create television content, and there's just nothing good.
Yeah, like what old boy Eric said. If you get it for free, then yeah, watch it. Plus, they give you 2 free episodes to try it out. You know, never hurts.
What's surprising is the 2 free episodes that were the worst too, at least of the C show.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bad. So let's start from the beginning. The C episodes, they're not horrible, but if I was like, if those were the only 2 episodes I saw, then I had to start paying for it, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, like, you know, for example, if Amazon Prime like is trying to sell their service, right? Their video, Amazon Prime Video,
Right.
And they promoted
The Boys.
The Boys to me. I'm like, oh snap, yo, I'm gonna subscribe to Amazon Prime yesterday so I could watch The Boys.
The Boys is the greatest show I've seen in forever because that show, talk about a hook. It had me in the first 10 minutes because they introduced, I don't want, like, no spoilers, but they introduced a character and I recognized her right away. I'm like, oh, I've seen her in other things. I like this actress. I can't see more of her. And then they have this event that just is so shocking that immediately I'm like, this is something else. I like this. That show's great.
It makes you like what the F? And then it just grows from there, right? And you just like, man, this is a good show the whole time, the whole ride you're watching it. I recommend it for anyone.
Well, what I like about a lot of these shows now is they're figuring out how to appeal comic book superhero type characters to adults. You know, I think they were stuck, at least when I was growing up, they were stuck in the mentality that if you're going to make a comic book movie or a TV show, it had to be geared towards kids. And we've seen that that's not necessarily the case. I mean, the adults are the ones with the pocketbooks. We're the ones spending the money.
Right.
And so...
Plus, you know, we grew up watching those stuff too, so we've
aged into it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, we get the Deadpools, the Logans, I would say, obviously, The Boys. I mean, all these kind of... Even Legion. Did you ever watch Legion on FX?
I watched up to season 2, and then I didn't have that service to watch it anymore.
Oh, well, if you have Hulu... Because I just learned this morning, FX is going exclusively to Hulu in March, and I'm not getting paid to say that, even though they should if you want to pay me Hulu. But yeah, you can catch up on your Legion. Because one thing I read about Legion is they're actually going to finish it. Like they know that this is the last season, so there will be a conclusion, and that show's a trip. It's a real head trip.
So they're not going to leave you hanging, huh?
No, I mean I think it's been a while since I've seen Legion, but I remember being excited by the fact that this Legion character, is related to Professor X himself.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Too late. If you haven't seen that show, you're way behind. It's been out for years. But yeah, as far as TV streaming, there's another new one coming out called HBO Max. And I was a little confused about HBO Max at first because I have the HBO service. And it's $15 a month to stream. And then I read that HBO Max would also be $15. So I'm like, oh man, I got to pay $15 plus $15, $30. That's crazy. But what I've learned is HBO Max will have everything HBO had.
Right.
And not only will it have everything HBO had, it's going to have everything that this weird ass DC Universe streaming thing has.
Right. So you get like all the Titan shows, all of the... Are you going to get the ones on CW too?
I think so. I think not only do you get the CW DC stuff, I think you may get a lot of the CW content.
Right.
So I think that they own Paramount, so they're bringing in a lot of the Paramount stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I mean, if I'm paying $15, it sounds like they're just giving me more content now.
I mean, it's called HBO Max for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You gotta maximize the shows, man.
I thought maybe it was just HBO and Cinemax pushed together and it would be like all sorts of like Skinemax type adult content. I'm like, well, okay, I'll sign up for that too.
Maybe they have like a certain time frame they play that, you know?
Yeah.
You can't watch any of that before 9 o'clock, you know?
Well, because it's streaming. Like, I don't know about you. I watch my streaming 2 different ways. I'll watch it on the big TV. And usually, like, I watch it more like an episodic show order.
Right.
Whereas when I jump on, like, my iPad or phone to watch something, I'm randomly all over the place. So I'm assuming you could pretty much click on anything you want to watch if they have it in their library.
And that thing comes out, next year, right?
Yeah, I think that one's 2020. But one of the things that I read about is, speaking of all their DC content, is that you were telling me, too, that they're going to come up with a Green Lantern show.
Oh, yeah, that's like their main selling point. You know how we were saying that Apple has C and Amazon has The Boys?
Right.
I think they're going to use Green Lantern Corps, maybe?
Oh, so, like, is that the one? So, a little background on me. I'm, like, super into Marvel, but I've never been really into DC. And so, Core is, like, the group of guys?
Yeah, it's like a whole team of guys, like the green... Because there's different color lanterns, right?
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there's, like, the yellow one, the red ones, the white ones, the green ones. And then each core is based on like a character trait.
Oh, okay.
You know how, like... We know you have no free will, right?
Right.
Wait. No, you have no willpower.
Right.
If I give you a piece of cake, you're going to eat it because you have no willpower.
Okay.
That means you can't be a Green Lantern. Because Green Lanterns are, based on, they have such good willpower that, they're always good,
So every one of them has their biggest trait is the fact that they have a lot of willpower.
Yeah.
Got it.
And so they're going to make a show that it's the whole, like, Green Lantern Corp, right? And so they're going to sell that as their, flagship product, probably.
Yeah. Does Ryan Reynolds cameo or star in this?
I hope he does.
That'd be hilarious. What they do is they have Ryan Reynolds come in and just a cameo, because I'm sure they'll get all new actors, have him show up and make a couple Deadpool jokes like he did about Green Lantern in the Deadpool movie.
Or maybe he replays his role as Hal Jordan and gets killed.
Like right away.
Right. And then the ring has to find someone else to take over.
Oh, man. DC, if you're listening, that right there is $1 million idea.
Get him on board. Yeah.
Just make sure to put Audionots in the, what do they call that? The credits.
Yeah.
Say, idea by Audionots, we're good. You can have it. Don't even have to pay us.
Yeah. And if Ryan Reynolds on the show, I'm subscribing right now.
Dude, man crush. I have a handful of man crushes. Probably up there in the top is Ryan Reynolds. That guy's hilarious. I mean, everything about him. Plus, one of the things we didn't talk about at the top of the podcast is we're broadcasting out of Oregon, which, by the way, is the best state ever. But Ryan Reynolds has his own gin that he has made in Oregon. It's an Oregon brand called Aviation Gin.
Right.
So we get treated to a lot of hilarious Aviation Gin commercials with our Ryan Reynolds.
Did you see the new one he did?
I saw part of it.
So he was basically making fun of what's his face? Superman. What's his name?
Oh, mustache guy.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Henry, The Witcher. Henry.
Yeah. Oh, The Witcher.
Yeah. Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm really bad with names.
Not Brandon Ralph.
Yeah.
Ralph. They need to hire better Superman.
Yeah, I need a... I'm really good at describing people, but not their names, so...
It's like its own little game.
Yeah.
You could describe them and I'll randomly guess the wrong people.
But he basically did a aviation commercial of them CGIing. Is that a word?
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, I get your point. Yeah, because the mustache.
Yeah. So it was hilarious. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of saw, because you were watching it on your computer, because we were always sitting around each other working on our visual anti-design, and I saw you kind of watching it, and it was pretty funny. The mustache was trying to be CG'd, and it was like moving all over the place.
I was like bursting out laughing, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
It was literally LOL.
Yeah.
Like laugh out loud. But yeah, so yeah, HBO Max, Green Lantern. I think you're right. Green Lantern will be kind of their flagship product. The way The Boys is Prime's.
Right.
C for right now is Apple's. I guess The Mandalorian is Disney Plus's show.
Because like if you look at all the streaming services, right? If you look at Apple, they don't have any of the sci-fi superhero type shows, right?
And there's a lot of us out there.
Yeah. And so if you look at all the streaming services, they promote that, and people like get on board like super quick. And then Apple for us, maybe it's just us, we're just
Right.
we'll see.
I like Apple products. Okay, I know a lot of people bag on it because it's the cool thing to do. Because it's the most popular product, you gotta. Oh, I don't use Apple. I only use Samsung. Samsung's the best. I'm like, good for you, guy. I don't care. Why do I have to choose?
Yeah.
But what would you say Netflix is? It would be Stranger Things. Is there kind of their main show?
I think so.
Yeah, because Stranger Things is pretty great. It's slowly gotten worse every season, but overall, it's pretty fantastic.
I still think it's their best show they made.
Yeah. What do you think about that new Netflix show, Daybreak?
Oh, that one, I gotta admit, man, I love that show. Like, I'm excited. Did they ever get renewed?
I think so. Well, I'm not sure. I was reading what do they call it, an AMA, Ask Me Anything,
Yeah.
on the Reddits, and I was on the AMA and with the creator of Daybreak,
Right.
or the show producer, because the actual creator, it's like a comic book or a graphic novel. And so the show creator of Daybreak was on there, and they were asking him that exact question. It's like, hey, are you going to have a season 2? And he said, I really hope so. He goes, if you're a fan of Daybreak, get out there, get on the social media, make sure you're, asking for season 2. I kind of feel like they will, because it didn't sound like it was a real expensive show to make.
Right.
But what I was excited about, what the guy said, was that season 2, so season 1 was basically, for the most part, from Josh's perspective, right?
Yeah,
Josh,
and like Deadpool, he talks to the audience. So
he breaks the third wall.
Yeah, he breaks the third wall, and he takes us through a journey that he's going through.
Yeah, and Josh is the de facto main character from this perspective. And every once in a while, out of the episodes they gave us, we'd get maybe a perspective of a side character, someone different.
Right.
But for the most part, it was the main character, Josh's perspective.
And you're seeing only what he's seeing.
Yeah, and so the creator of the show said what he wants to do to make it interesting for season 2 is give us, and I don't think it's going to be the exact same plot again, but we're going to see a lot of it from another character's perspective, mainly the female character.
Right.
Sam Dean.
Sam Dean.
Yeah. So Sam Dean. So there's a lot of scenes in the show that he said you got to consider Josh as kind of an inaccurate or maybe not such a reliable narrator.
Right.
And so you're taking everything you're seeing is almost Josh's version of it. Like if we both experienced the same thing and we went to tell a third person about it, we may give a different account of the story.
Right.
So next season, assuming there will be another season, we'll get to see a lot of Sam Dean's version of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she was like basically gone for half the season.
Yeah. And I think if you watch the first season, you almost get a feeling towards the end of certain characters, whether they're the good guys or the bad guys, or maybe you don't like them or whatever it might be. And maybe getting a different narrator showing us some of the same scenes will like, oh, wait, I do like him. The way he interpreted it was weird, you know? It wasn't like the way it actually was.
So it really just, depends on the eye of the beholder sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of opinions from each person. So, I really hope that as far as zombie, teen, drama, end of the world comedies go, it's one of my faves.
Yeah. It has all that combined in one show.
It caught me off guard because it wasn't what I expected. When I saw it, the way they kind of previewed it, I thought it was a straight up zombie show.
Yeah, it's like, we thought it was zombie plus Mad Max equals Daybreak.
I almost thought it was going to be like Evil Dead 3, which is complete mayhem. But what it ended up being, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, is it's basically an end-of-the-world apocalypse dystopian show. Or actually, it's disguised as those things. But what it really is a teenage drama.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, the actors are all good. I think that they do a lot of things to make us feel, as the kids say, more woke.
Yeah.
Because,
most apocalyptic shows take place like further down the line, but this one takes place a few months afterwards, right?
Right. I think they said at one point 6 months. So without giving, I don't think it gives anything away because they show a lot of this in the trailer. But basically, the concept of the show is some sort of biological bombs go off, and we've only seen one city so far, so we don't know if every city was affected the same way. But the biological bombs go off, and for whatever reason, I won't give it away because they do tell you towards the end of the season.
Right.
the adults all die, but anybody 18 or younger seems to survive, and how they react to it. And it's pretty hilarious because they still stay very cliquey. You got your like different. What were some of the cliques? There was like the clan of the Kardashians.
Yeah, all the. You know how you go to school and everyone's have their own little groups, right?
Right.
So they really emphasize that and have their own little tribes, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. They called them tribes. So you had like the jocks. They were like one tribe.
The Kardashians. What do they call like?
There was something Kardashians.
Disciples of Kardashians.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
that's what it was.
Not of Kardashia, I think.
Disciples of Kardashia. Let's go with that final answer.
And then we have like the golf club.
Yeah. Well, the golf club was almost like a subcategory of the jocks. Like they still reported to the jocks, but they're like, oh, come on, you're the golf dorks. You don't get to be considered real jocks.
Yeah. And then we got like the cheermazons.
Oh, yeah, the cheermazons.
The cheerleaders, but they're Amazon warrior princesses, I guess.
Yeah, with their woman power. Then there was the video gamers. What did they call them? Do you remember?
I think they were just called the gamers.
The gamers.
Yeah. So like every group at school you could think of, there's like a whole tribe of it. So it makes it very, very relatable.
Yeah.
To us nowadays.
Well, I think what they did really good is they said it in this End of the World Times, but a lot of the stuff that carries over is probably the same issues that these kids are facing in school. But what's neat about, I think, this type of show is it really takes current society into the plot line, right? And so you've got people you wouldn't expect being in love with other people. People aren't like judging you people the way, like when I grew up, everybody's like, oh, you're this, I'm going to judge you because you're different.
Right.
People seem to be, while they're still cliquey and breaking off into the groups, they're more understanding of these differences. In fact, there's a few occasions, even with the golf dorks who are, I don't know if they're supposed to be bad guys. Remember, we're watching an unreliable narrator.
Right.
At the beginning, they're almost like, let's take him as a slave. And like, whoa. We don't use the word slave anymore.
Because, they have a person of color in their group. So.
And I think that's cool. And I think that's maybe what kids under 18 would do. Why us old fogies out here are like, oh, that's the way it's always been. What do we care?
Right.
These kids are like, they're thinking about these things and how they can change it now that they have the opportunity.
Yeah, like you say, all the kids are more woke.
Yeah, woke.
Right.
Yeah, one of those fun words. I found when I learned the word woke, I probably used it about 600 times in one day.
Right.
You know the one I like right now? So a little bit more background on me. I have 3 children. 2 of them, one's a straight up adult. The other one's a teenager. And my teenage daughter is always telling me all these things. And have you heard the term okay boomer?
Okay boomer?
Uh-huh.
No, I have not.
So, I always knew boomers is the generation right above me, right? They're called them
baby boomers?
I'm Gen X. Yeah, baby boomers.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. So I'm Gen X, you're
millennial.
You're a millennial.
But then I'm a early millennial. Does that count?
Yeah, you're at the top end of millennial.
Yeah, like I'm at the beginning of millennials. So.
Yeah.
And the way they like categorize millennials, they're like, wait, that's not me.
I've heard the term zennial. There's all sorts of weird stuff.
I don't know.
But yeah, so now the thing, and I've seen more of it now that my daughter brought it up. She actually hit me with an okay boomer at dinner. And so basically, okay boomer for the millennials, I mean, you can use this now, is when you're sitting around with an old fogey like myself and they're giving you like grief about something and they say something stupid or maybe that's generationally old, that's not so woke, they'll hit you with an okay boomer.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was saying something. I was really trying to prove my point, and she wasn't having any of it, and I got hit with an okay, boomer.
Is it like when you say, back in my day?
Yeah, totally. Like, back in my day. And you're like, okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer. I'm going to use that from now on.
For sure. I'm
a millennial, so I could use it.
What did I see? It was on the internet, because everything I see is on the internet. I saw, I'm trying to remember. It was somebody it was a really young political person in like Congress or something. It may even been over in Europe somewhere. And they were talking about, I think, climate change. Mm-hmm. And one of the older like Congress people, or I don't know what they call those people who wear their funny hair over there, was like trying to interrupt him. And they shut him down with an okay boomer.
Really? They used it in Congress?
Yeah. I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm like, okay, boomer, let's go. I figured I could still use it because technically, even though I got hit myself with an okay boomer, I am not a boomer.
Yeah, right. They're the generation before you.
Yeah, I mean, they're way older.
Okay.
But the internet, it really births some weird things. A lot of things I've learned from the internet and all the weirdness that it can bring us is, and I'm sure at this point anybody listening knows what this is, but it still kind of blows my mind, is ASMR.
So what is that for people that don't know?
Dude, I swear to you that ASMR is literally people just making weird sounds into a microphone. It's usually HOTS, though.
Are they like whispering? Are they making like noises or
everything? Yeah, the full board. So, like I said, from what I've seen at least, is it's usually the hot ladies. The hot ladies are always, they control the internet. No one wants to admit it, but they do. Yeah. And generally it's some sort of hot lady sitting around with a microphone like we have right here, and she's like rubbing a comb on it, or she's like eating a pasta, like a bowl of spaghetti.
Chewing ice?
Yeah, anything, right? It could be clickety-clackety, it could be all sorts of noise. And I don't know if it's a fetish or what it is that people like about ASMR, but it's weird. I mean, it's a strange thing, and what you'll see is that it's all over YouTube. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, for whatever reason, somehow you missed out on the ASMR fad, go to YouTube, plug it in. I don't think there's anything too raunchy that'll get you thrown out of your job or anything.
What's YouTube? They don't really have,
Yeah, I think that they kind of control their content. Yeah. Right? But what I have noticed, or at least what my friends have told me from what I've heard, is some of the ASMR people are also adult stars. And so it's pretty genius. We work in marketing, and that's probably one of the smartest marketing things I've seen is adult star A will do their adult thing, but how do they get new customers or new viewers if they're not into that, right? So then she goes to YouTube, and she can't put her adult content there, but she can sit there and blow into a microphone, get like 2 million viewers, by whispering weird crap into a microphone, and then say, oh, by the way, guys, check me out on Pornhub. Well, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it's just good marketing. I can see it like I see the porn stars doing it. I see the cosplayers are doing it, and then there's just some random people doing it.
Yeah, I seen like a lot of those people that eats a lot of food. What are they called?
Mukbang.
Yeah, the mukbangers, right?
Mukbang is another one of those weird ass things that. Oh, that's hilarious. Just on our iPad that we have sitting here, it listened. I think Siri listened to us, and it says, I see that you love porn stars doing it. I see college players are doing it, and some random people. What is she even talking about?
Wait, is she recording what you're saying?
I don't know, but
you
have to ignore that portion of the show because Siri was immediately when she heard porn star, she kicked into recording mode, which is a little scary. But yeah, mukbang. Honestly, the first time I heard about mukbang was...
Is that how you pronounce it, though?
I think so. Which sounds way dirty, right?
Yeah, because sometimes I heard like mukbang.
Oh, well, maybe.
Is that like an Asian pronunciation? Because I'm Asian, so
Oh, yeah, that's another fun fact. Yeah. Rin is Asian.
Yeah.
I'm just a standard old white guy. But, yeah, so the white guy way to say it is mukbang. Maybe it's, how did you say it?
Mukbang? I don't know, but we'll keep it to mukbang because it sounds dirtier.
It does. It sounds like something you would see on Pornhub.
Yeah.
But mukbang is, I guess it's Vietnamese is where it kind of came from.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh.
Either Korea. A lot of cool crap comes from Korea too.
Somewhere in the east, though.
Maybe I'll look it up and we'll tell you next time.
Yeah,
Google it. You have the internet.
Yeah.
But my wife's sister came over and we had ordered like just a shit ton of tacos, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna mukbang these tacos," and I'm like, "What? we're gonna do what to the tacos?" And turns out all mukbanging is just eating like boatloads of food, filming it, and then throwing it on the YouTubes.
Yep. You see like those videos where people like eat a bunch of ramen or a bunch of just crab or shrimp or Yeah,
I saw some lady that must have ate like a 60-pound lobster one time. It was disgusting.
Yeah. That was like the giant, the biggest lobster I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, I like lobster, but that made me kind of want to puke.
And she just dipped that shit into like butter. That's so much damn butter. Like,
immediately after she had a heart attack and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you never know. So the internet's giving us ASMR, it's giving us mukbang, okay boomer.
Well, like what porn has taught me is everybody has a fetish. right?
So do you think mukbanging is a fetish? Do you
Maybe.
think someone's at home watching mukbang quietly in like a closed room?
Probably. Oh yeah, look at that shrimp. I don't know. There's a fetish for everything. That's what I learned.
If you've got a fetish, someone's filmed it, put it on the interwebs, and made money from it.
Yep.
Most certainly. I mean, honestly, this is probably, with the world today, the closest we've ever been to the world idiocracy. I mean, everything's super weird. The president's a reality show. I mean, and what were you telling me earlier? It's going to get weirder. Who wants to run for president?
All right. He's going to change his name, though, he said. But the guy that's known as Kanye West.
Oh, my God.
2024, Kanye West.
Kanye West. Let me ask you this right now. Hotter president's wife, Melania?
Melania?
Or Kim Kardashian?
I don't know, man. I might have to go with Kim on this.
Really? Just because she's younger? Kim's weird, though. She's starting to look like a smashed potato. I mean,
yeah.
She's like all putting like other people's fat in her ass and stuff.
Maybe because I never grew up knowing who the first lady Melania? Is that her name?
Melania.
Yeah, I never knew who she was. Yeah. But I guess we millennials grew up watching Kim Kardashian, so we kind of like know who she is.
Okay, so do you think, I mean, we don't want to talk about a ton of politics here, but this is just the craziest thing I've ever heard. We haven't already been living something pretty crazy. Would Kanye West, in this weird idiocracy world or this timeline, we're clearly living the best timeline,
yeah,
or maybe the worst, it's hard to tell, it depends on who you are. Kanye West, better or worse president than the current guy?
But aren't they besties, though?
Well, I know that the Kardashian Kim is, but oh yeah, that's right, because he wears the stupid red MAGA hat. Yeah. So it might be worse.
I don't know, man. It's like another.
You got like one's an idiot and the other one's like a straight up psycho. I mean, Kanye West has said himself, I'm pretty sure in interviews, that he's diagnosed bipolar.
Did you hear him say that he's gonna rewrite all his songs?
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you know how his new album is like what, gospel?
It's called Jesus is King.
Yeah, and he said he's gonna rewrite all his songs because it's too like dirty, or what do you call that? Like,
this guy is, well, maybe he's changed. I guess maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt. But right now, my feeling is this guy is the biggest hypocrite that's ever lived. Either he's a hypocrite or he's just out to get good PR. Because he is, I'm not famous enough. The wife's more famous. I'm going to do something real crazy and make sure everybody knows more about me. Because he just did a song where he talked about doing all sorts of disgusting things. And then all of a sudden the next song is how much he loves Jesus.
Yeah. So is there going to be like a Jesus version of that song?
Well, what about Gold Digger? So how do you change that? How do you rewrite that so it's more God friendly?
We'll see. We'll stay tuned to find out, I guess.
I mean, President. What did you say his name would be?
Oh, like Christian billionaire something Kanye West or something like that.
Christian billionaire something Kanye West.
So you know that he's a billionaire. He's gonna name himself billionaire.
What's interesting about Kanye West, it wasn't too long ago he was trying to tell us that he was broke. You remember that?
Yeah, and like,
how's he a billionaire now?
It's because it's his shoes.
Oh, so nobody gives a crap about Kanye music, but everybody wants to wear Yeezys.
Yep.
That's another thing that I think the internet's helped. Internet has made these, because I think being, what do they call the shoe guys when you're a shoe guy?
Like a hype beast?
Yeah, these hype beast kids. I mean, that's another internet birth, is the hype beast, where they go online, they see things that are expensive, like the Supreme sticker that we have in our background of our studio here, is it just, you throw the name Supreme on anything and these dumbasses will buy it because it says Supreme.
Yeah, you have a Supreme foosball table.
I have a fake Supreme sticker on my foosball table.
Looks real to me.
Yeah, well, it's because we're amazing graphic artists. Don't get mad at us, Supreme. But yeah, I mean, it's really strange. The fact that we've moved into a future where there are hype beasts and mukbangs, okay boomers,
ASMR,
and President Kanye Christian King West is is weird. But
First Lady Kardashian.
oh man,
Oh my gosh.
because like I part of me loves it when we can see things that are super futuristic. And I was reading yesterday that, do you know who James? You're younger, so it's another. We're gonna keep giving these little tidbits about us. I got about 10 years, a full decade on Mr. Rin here.
Yep.
And so, do you know who James Dean is?
I've seen photos of him.
So he's James Dean was super popular, like I guess the 50s. Even he's too old for me. I've never actually went on live.
Wait, he's an actor, right?
Yeah, James Dean was a rebel without a cause. Right?
Cowboy actor.
No.
No?
James Dean was like the cool kid. James Dean was the guy that had like the slicked back, like.
Oh, black leather jacket?
Yeah, he looked like he's from the TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, he looked like
okay.
he's maybe from the movie Grease. You know,
Right.
he always had the leather jacket on.
Right.
And his most famous movie was Rebel Without a Cause. And he was like, all the ladies loved him. He was like the Brad Pitts of his time. Or well, who's like someone good looking now?
Ryan Reynolds?
My man crush, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, so James Dean was the guy, right? And one of the things we've seen with technology lately, and I think it was just 2 or 3 years ago at South by Southwest,
Yeah.
they did a virtual Prince. Was it Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh, like those holograms?
Yeah, they did like a hologram Prince. And there was all this talk about, is it right to be using someone who's deceased to sell stuff? Because that's really all it is, right?
Right.
They bring back Prince to perform a concert after he's long and dead because they want to sell you stuff.
Right.
So yesterday I read that they're going to, and this is just blowing my mind, the reality we live in, is they're bringing back James Dean, an actor who's been dead 50 plus years,
Right.
to star in a brand new movie. Not a new movie, not a remake, brand new.
So is it like, when like Iron Man becomes young on screen?
Yes.
So they're using like a body
they-
double. Oh my gosh.
Or when they erase Superman's mustache.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the weirdest thing. So James Dean, a guy who's been dead for, 1,000 years, gets to come back. All I can assume is he's completely digitized, right? So they know what
Yeah.
he used to look like. I think he was only in black and white movies. Do you put him in a color movie? Does it come back in full high-res color? Do you use a real actor? So I'm just trying to imagine how this works when you're filming a movie like this. Do you have some other guy show up, plays the entire thing, and in the end you just digitize a James Dean face on him? This guy's doing like his best James Dean impersonation?
Well, like those CG movies where you have like body doubles, they put all those like lights and stuff on you, right?
Right.
Maybe they put lights on his face and he acts the whole thing, and then they CG his face.
Maybe they've gotten so good at like faking things. Well, the thing about it is it's not like they can have James Dean there to like, it's neither. So the only thing is it'll look like James Dean because it won't
Right.
be James Dean's voice, right? He's dead.
What if they have someone that can impersonate his voice?
Right, it's got to be an impersonator. It's not James Dean's body. It's someone else's body. So really, James Dean's not there. They're just making it appear as if it's James Dean, but they're not selling it as like a computer animated movie. They're saying this is James Dean. And what I read is his family's excited because you know what that means? New royalties.
Right.
They're going to get some more money for the James Dean Family Foundation.
So it's kind of like, we're big sports guys here too. Fun fact.
Yeah.
How the whole situation of selling their likeness and
College.
yeah, right. What do you call that again?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're finally going to get paid for their own image and likeness.
Yeah, it's like that, right? They're using James Dean's image and likeness to make a movie to sell.
What's interesting though is when James Dean was alive, no one thought that this kind of technology was possible.
Right.
And so it's not like James Dean signed some sort of waiver that said, yeah, when I'm gone, go ahead, keep making stuff with me so my family can continue to profit off my image and likeness, because they didn't think it'd exist.
Yeah.
So now they're probably doing this against his will for all we know, because the guy is long dead. Do current actors? I mean, because that was the thing that the people that reported it was his agency. So the people that represent, like, actor, Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever it might be. Apparently, I had no idea that they still rep old dead people because of those legacy royalties.
Wow.
And so the guy, they brought up a whole like list of names that said, oh, now you can have so and so back and this person back. And so it made me think, who. Now that we know that we have the technology to bring back any actor, let's go ahead and skip past the part where we're worried about them saying no and assume that they would say yes.
Right.
What dead actor are you bringing back for a movie? I was thinking, and
Dead actor.
Maybe this is a dumb choice, but I kind of want to see Chris Farley again.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah. What if you did like a new comedy, David Spade? I don't know. That might actually make me tear up. You know? Or what if? Oh, I got it. What's your favorite stupid movie series? There's like
stupid movie series.
I know you know what it is. You're gonna rent one tonight.
Oh, like they're not stupid though. Because I love me some Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious. What if they brought back Paul Walker?
Yeah.
Is it too soon?
No, I don't think so. Like Fast and the Furious, because they're gonna continue making those, right?
Forever now.
Forever, yeah.
Vin Diesel dies. Let's bring him back.
Well, because they had to like shoot his last scene with his brother,
right?
And they CGI his face, right?
So they've already done it.
They already done it, yeah.
So yeah, there's no reason once this James Dean movie comes out, especially if it's successful, even if it's gimmicky and it's successful, it opens the door for every dead celebrity you've ever seen to come back and be in a movie.
So what you're saying is Fast and Furious started this trend.
Maybe. I mean, I think almost Marvel too. Like you pointed out earlier, I remember seeing in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
They had a young Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
And then you said who else did we see young? We saw
Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. Yeah, and so you see these young versions of them, and they've gotten pretty good at it. In fact,
even Kurt Russell, remember in Guardians?
Yes.
Young Kurt.
And I heard that in the new Terminator movie that they do young Arnold, and that it looks incredible. Because, like, do you remember when they did the young Leia from Star Wars, Leia?
Yeah.
It looked like right away I could spot that it was something weird and kind of weirded me out. But apparently, the new young Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the original T2 is like, you can't tell.
Wow.
And it's kind of creepy that they can do that.
Well, because, we're in a field of design and marketing, so we're aware of that.
Yeah.
For like the average person that goes to movies,
They don't even notice.
how do you think they know that? Oh snap! That's a CGI version of Princess Leia.
Right. They may not even know.
Yeah.
But it's like, now you've had a minute to think about it. Who?
Oh shoot! I wasn't even thinking.
I distracted you right away with my hot Chris Farley take.
Maybe on the next episode I'll come back.
Like, I start thinking about it, and you start, like, I'm trying to remember some of my, like, favorite actors that I've been missing. A lot of times I go to comedians. Do you remember Phil Hartman? He was on Saturday Night Live. He died way too soon. He would be maybe I'd bring back, like, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Maybe anybody that's ever been in, like, a funny movie or old Saturday Night Live.
I really need to look at a list of
Like dead celebrities.
Yeah.
I wonder what, like, if there, like, becomes like, well, it's not good to bring back someone who just died. We need to wait so many years. Like, if they have, like, a little bit of a cushion before it's okay, before people aren't, like, totally weirded out about. Kind of like wars. You don't want to make a movie about a war that just happened. You want to wait a minute for it so everybody's not grossed out.
Yeah, like Midway just came out.
Yeah, that's 50 plus years old. Yeah. So,
but then like some of these, like you said, Chris Farley, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 years later, you think people will still remember or love?
Well, I don't know.
Chris Farley?
The same question could be said about James Dean. You didn't even know who it was. You were like, you thought he was a cowboy. So if a brand new James Dean movie comes out, are you gonna even want to see it? Who are they selling it to?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, depends on what they're making. Like some kind of cop show. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It really. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they sell it. I think that people might get excited because of the gimmick. It's something different. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to see, like, I might go, not because I'm a James Dean fan, because literally I know very little other than Rebel Without a Cause. I might go just to see how well it's done.
Right.
Like, I want to see, do I ever question what I'm seeing?
Yeah, because we've seen that in doses, but not like a full
The entire
length.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be pretty incredible. I have some more. What about Richard Pryor? Like, I'm all about bringing back comedians, like some of these great comedians of our time. Like, you're like, oh man, I wish they were still around.
Bernie Mac?
Oh, Bernie Mac. That's
I got one. Yes.
Yes. Bernie Mac, Robin Williams. I don't know.
But then how in the video game industry they're getting actors and actresses to become part of that, right? Like the new one that just came out, like
Death Stranding.
Yeah, and it has
what's his butt from
The Walking Dead, Daryl.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
What's that guy's name?
I have no idea.
Or that game is like just weird.
Yeah. So it's like is it getting a little more like that, or it's gonna look more like realistic, you know?
Well, the way they were selling it is you're not supposed to tell it from real human beings. So, say the movie's made, the only person in this particular movie that's not really there would be James Dean himself. Right. Everybody else is real people. Versus Death Stranding, which is a video game.
Right.
Everybody's a computer animated version of themselves.
But wouldn't the trailer just kind of like, okay, after seeing that, okay, I'm good. You know,
maybe because you've seen enough.
You want to see the gimmick, right? You just watch the trailer and you're good.
It's kind of an interesting take because you gotta wonder if the people who are the OK boomers of the world, who are James Dean fans, they grew up, my mom, parents, people like that, who've seen James Dean, they really liked him, and they're like, wow, I kind of want to see this again. Are there enough of them for how much it must cost to fake a human being through an entire movie to make that movie successful? I don't even know. I really like it's a question that I'm not sure. I guess until they make the first one, that may be the one thing that stops them from bringing back tons of dead people if they don't actually bring them back sooner than later, because you've already forgot about them.
Why James Dean though?
Because he was huge. I mean, James Dean was. I mean, it'd be similar like if they brought back. I think you were thinking of John Wayne.
Oh yeah, he's the cowboy.
Yeah, he's the cowboy. He was the real manly man, and so I'm thinking that John Wayne would be in the same field as James Dean. Bring him back for a cowboy movie, a certain amount of people would get really hype over that.
Let's say in the future, about 30 years from now, right? You're the actor that you wanted to be when you were a kid. What's his name?
The actor I wanted to be?
Yeah.
Oh, Christian Slater?
Yeah. Will he be one of those?
Like they might bring back?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that because of the fact that this was brought out by a talent agency, that they've already made all their talent sign these things one way or another. Right. Yes, I'm not going to allow you to bring me back to continue to pay for my family's legacy.
Yeah.
Or B, nah, man, let me rest in peace, R.I.P.
What would you do, though?
Me, personally? I don't know. It's kind of funny because most of the things I do is for my family. So I might very well say, maybe you probably have to have a law book clause. I mean, it's got to be thick. Right. Hundreds of pages that says, yes, you can bring me back for this type of movie if such and such family member approves it. Don't bring me back in some dumbass DC movie. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to.
Hey. DC's not done.
Don't put me in pornography. What I mean? They got to protect their image. So you don't want them to bring them back. That's something that's they're long and dead and you tarnish their image. And everybody's like, oh man, I hate James Dean. Say James Dean's new movie comes out and it's absolute garbage, and all the people who don't know who that is are like, oh,
who's
man,
this guy?
I don't like him. Now they're not even interested in going back and learning other stuff about him.
Right. Because that's the whole purpose, right? To learn more about him, and then you look up his history.
Yeah.
To get,
Yeah, I mean, because you could go and bring back all sorts of old stars, Shirley Temple, Bing Crosby. I mean, on and on. They're really going to have to find the line where it works, makes sense, and doesn't kind of gross people out. Because I think there's a factor of that where someone's long and dead, and all of a sudden they're running around being happy, and you're kind of like, ugh, I don't know.
What if, how they had, like you're saying, they brought back Prince as a hologram?
Yeah.
What if they brought back comedians, like you're saying, to do a whole show?
Who are they? New jokes?
Yeah, jokes for this day and age, right?
You bring back George Carlin, and he's talking about woke and okay boomer.
Yeah,
dude, I gotta admit, I'd pay money for that.
Maybe they should be doing that rather than been doing movies.
Dude, that's so bizarre. It might be amazing. I kind of like that. Yeah, because then you could bring back, like you said, the George Carlins of the world, the Bernie Macs.
Yeah,
Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor coming back.
Imagine going, hey, I'm going to go see Chris Farley tonight.
Yeah.
It'd
be so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're in a brand new age. And I think this is a perfect point to kind of wrap things up for this episode. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about a lot of weird things, a little TV. But we are in the new age of podcasting with Audionots, sponsored by Vigilante Design. If anybody listening needs some design work done, I highly suggest going to vigilantedesign.com, checking out our website, and putting in a request. We do amazing work. It's inexpensive, but not cheap. It's going to be some of the highest end stuff you've ever seen. We can bring any product, image, company to life and get you a whole new customer base. And so with that, I thank you. I believe Rin wants to thank you.
Thank you. Until next time.
Yeah, and adios, guys. We'll talk to you again. We're going to try to do this every so often and leave you something fun. Thanks. Bye. Okay, Boomer.